Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always is finally out. As someone who grew up on Power Rangers as a kid, I was excited when I heard this was coming out. But my excitement lessened when I heard the original Red, Pink, and Green Ranger weren't going to be in this for multiple different reasons. And it makes the scenes with their characters weird because you know it's not them because they keep their helmets on the whole time. It honestly just feels like there was a lot that was changed from the original script throughout this whole production process. So was this the fun nostalgia trip like the good old days? Honestly, no. Now don't get me wrong, it looks great visually, but that's an obvious because the technology has advanced so much. And the VFX in this was pretty good except for that horrible fight scene at the very end with the Megazord. That CGI was really bad, even for today's standards. The suits are still the same style, but they're slightly updated in this and they look really slick. But if you told me David Yost wrote this, I would believe you because this feels like a Billy fanfic. Both of the writers are Power Rangers veterans because they've written for tons of the shows, but honestly, I don't think it was very well written. Billy and Zach are pretty much the main characters of this, and it just feels kinda weird. The new character, Trini's daughter, was a nice addition, but I really wish she got to morph a lot sooner in this, and I feel like she was kind of underused. It's also really weird to see the Red Ranger Rocky be kind of a background character when the Red Ranger is normally the leader and the forefront of like every episode. But Rocky is just kind of there in this, and same with Kat, she just is kind of there and she doesn't really do much in this whole special. For being veteran Rangers, they sure do struggle with putties, which is really odd. I also feel like Trini's death could have been set up way better in this. It just kind of happens out of nowhere and it wasn't really a good lead up and I don't feel like it had much impact. I mean, even after, they don't really react in the way that I thought they would and then it just cuts to 1 year later. Another problem I had was a lot of the line deliveries from the actors. Now I know Power Rangers has never really been known for amazing acting, but you can really tell a lot of these OG Rangers have not set foot on a film set in a very long time because their acting is pretty bad in this. The special just felt like a classic Mighty Morphin episode, and not in a good way. I don't feel like the stakes were really that high, the bad guys were pretty basic, and again, the Rangers didn't feel like veteran Rangers, they felt like they were still back in the first few seasons. Like, in one shot we see Rocky one-shotting a putty with his gun, and then he just holsters it and goes and beats them up. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I also wish the fight scenes were a lot better. I mean, this time around they're not taking from old footage, so they have the ability to make some really cool choreography. But none of the fight scenes really blew my mind, and I've seen some good Power Ranger choreography, and nothing in this movie was like really great. I mean, if it's one thing you watch Power Rangers for is the fighting, and unfortunately the fighting was just really lackluster in this. I also found it hilarious every time they morph, you can tell the actors are not the ones in the suits because their body types are completely different. But we can just pretend every time you morph, you become the peak version of yourself. And then we have Rita's whole plan to capture all the Power Rangers to build up this power for her machine so she can talk to her old self. You're really gonna tell me that she was able to capture the Phantom Ranger, Lunar Wolf Ranger, the 3 Lost Galaxy Rangers, and the White Dino Ranger? You gotta be kidding me. I do not think Minotaur and Snizzard could beat them. Like, that is just ridiculous to me. Also, when they were in her base, I don't know why they ran at her depowered to fight her. That made no sense. They should have just instantly morphed and fought her. And I get Power Rangers is a kid show, but a lot of adults like myself really enjoy it and like the content. So why not make the script a lot better? And I really wish they added 30 more minutes to make this an official movie. They could have added a lot more and fleshed out a ton of stuff to make this a lot better than it really was. In all, it really didn't bring the nostalgia back, and I really didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to. It was just a nice looking Power Rangers episode and nothing really special. This is why I give it a 5.5 out of 10. Let me know what you thought about it down below in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.